Okay, so I don't know how well my microphone's gonna pick up on this, but this is gonna be a guide to install Ubuntu server. I'm running this thing on a Dell Power. Oh, it's kind of hard to see the window. Dell Power Edge R610, but this guide should work for anything really installing just Ubuntu server in general. First, we're gonna go through RAID, configure it, because especially if you're doing this on a server unit, you have to set a RAID configuration or Ubuntu server will not recognize your drive, even if it's been formatted and all that. So we'll do that real quick. I got all my drives right here. We're doing, at least for me, I got 6 2TB SSDs. If you're looking for some good SSDs, highly recommend these T-Force Vulcans. As you can see in the back, they come with 3-year warranty. If you have a little bit more money to spend, do recommend these Crucial ones. These are pretty much built like a fucking tank. These things are really good, and they're industrial grade, so they're like really meant for this. These Vulcans are definitely your more budget. Like that's like a $90, and trust me, don't cheap out on your storage. This is why I'm doing this. As you can see, this is going to be a whole little guide of me rebuilding my server unit. I mostly use this thing for running game servers like Minecraft and stuff like that. So there's going to be a whole series to this if you want to do anything like that. So first of all, I'm doing this RAID configuration in a specific way because of how these ones died on me. We are going to do 5 drives in the RAID configuration, which is going to be this guy's, with the Crucial drive is going to be our 0 drive. You do want to roughly keep them the same brand. It doesn't matter that much. What you really want to do is just make sure they're roughly the same speed. Like you can see, these are all SATA 6 gigabytes, and they're all rated for about 550 megabytes per second of transfer speed. So you want to roughly keep the speed the same. Obviously, you can do the brand as well, but it doesn't matter that much. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug all these in. So this thing can support 6 drives, but I'm only doing 5 for the original RAID configuration because these ones died on me in a really weird way, and when they had died on me, they got marked as a foreign RAID configuration. And when I went to go set, or do a normal RAID repair and just replace the one dead drive, it wouldn't let me set a hot swap because it was foreign. And it was kind of fucking dumb. So what we're gonna do to avoid that is our 6 drive here. You don't have to follow what I'm doing. However you want to do your own RAID configuration, do that. This one is going to be our hot swap that I'm going to bake into the original RAID configuration. We won't be plugging it in right now. We'll plug it in after we have gotten the RAID. That's all drives, all SSDs are hot swap, so that means you could plug in an SSD while the system is running and it'll read. No issue there. You gotta be kidding me. I managed to put one of these SSDs in backwards. This won't take me but a moment. Sorry that I'm not doing multiple cuts. I might edit this out, but I don't know. Depends on how long I take. Well, I guess I could give them a little bit more backstory for what I'm going to be doing. So I'm also going to be showing how to configure SSH during this. So I'll give some of my reasoning. So like why use Ubuntu server over like another distro? Well, like Ubuntu server, like even though normal Ubuntu does kind of suck, Ubuntu server is pretty good for the average user, and other distros like Red Hat, which is like an alternative, they make you pay for a license. You don't have to do that with Ubuntu server. So that's one of the main reasons why I use it. It's also just pretty easy to use. Like unlike normal Ubuntu, it's pretty bare bone. It gives you just a straight terminal at the start, like you'll see in a bit. so you can do however you want with it. We are not going to be installing a graphical display manager. However, I will recommend some that are really good that you can use. Most of this guide's going to be due straight through the terminal, because I finally stopped being a little bitch and just decided to stop using a graphical file manager. It really is, like, I understand terminal's scary and it's kind of annoying to use, but I don't really want to waste the extra system resources for a display manager that I never use. This monitor is literally unplugged, and the server unit just runs when I'm not needing to actually get on it. And even better since it's SSH and don't have to actually do anything. Okay. Let's get these bad boys in. Oh yeah, I also got this other one. I actually bought one too many SSD, but this is also another really good brand. You can snag these on Amazon for like 80 bucks each. However, when I bought them, there were only one per customer, which is kind of stupid, but if you could snag those, they're pretty good. Silicon Power is a really good brand. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and turn this on. Now, this server unit does take a little while to boot up, so it really just depends. Easiest, like, I'm not showing a guide on how to get, you know, the ISO on a USB. It's not that fucking complicated. You're missing a lot of knowledge if that's what the step you're getting mixed up on. Another thing for this thing to see. You don't really need to see the top of it that badly. There's not like there's really anything important over there. There we go. You can kind of see it. It just configures memory because I got 80 gigabytes of DDR3 in this bad boy, so definitely plenty. Got two Intel Xeons X5687s, two good CPUs. I'm pretty happy with this thing. I got it for like $100 off of it was 150 bucks off of Facebook Marketplace. Hella worth it. So we're gonna let this boot, and then once this goes through, we're just gonna spam Control R, and that'll open us up into the RAID configuration menu. If you have a different RAID controller, just do whatever you do to get into RAID. Don't know how much different it would look. This is the first and only RAID controller I've ever used, but it's not that complicated. So yeah, this one we're gonna start spamming SR or Control R. You can see it just popped up right there. There we go. So right now it says no configuration set. Right now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as you can see in that little product ID, they show up as T-Force, and then this one's the crucial. Drive 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is not being used right now because that's our hot swap that I'm going to plug in after we get our RAID configuration. You'll see how I'll do that. So yeah, let's check these lights. They're all green. This is how you know you have good storage versus bad storage. Oh, the camera kind of hard to see, but you can see that one little light. If your server unit's giving you like blinking red lights, then that storage is probably a little sus and you might have cheaped out just a bit. So, let's go to previous. You can see all the stuff on the bottom for what you need to do. So, this is where we press F2, and then we are going to create a new VID. We're going to set the RAID. Can I do RAID 10? I'll be surprised. I'm going to do RAID 5 though. It works a little bit better for this, and I just like RAID 5. It's pretty good. So then we just press enter to select the drives, and this is really where you want. So for RAID, they all need to be the same size. I don't know why that one's like that, but just ignore it. Most drives don't even give you exactly 2 terabytes anyways. But all of them need to be the same size, or RAID will automatically, like if you had 1 terabyte in this, for example, like this guy was a 1 terabyte, it'd make all of these guys 1 terabyte to match the RAID configuration. So they have to be the same size. And then I guess I can name this main. And then just press OK. And then that's going to create it. Online, online, online. There we go. So that's when we are going to now take this bad boy, plug it in. Yep, just popped up. So now we go over to here. Yep, right here. We are going to press F2 and then we're going to make global hot swap. Global affinity is already set. Perfect. Okay, so now we go through here. We got all of these ones where my Micron is being used as my hot swap. My Micron is a little older than all my other SSDs, which is why I'm using it as my hot swap. So, that's basically it. At least for this step. Make sure I'm not, yeah. Make sure, you know, it says down here, you're bootable. This is how you select your what RAID configuration is booting. So now we can just press escape. You sure you want to exit? Yes. So this is the point where you want to plug in your flash drive or whatever. I got a little SSD right here that has Ventoy on it, so it might take a little longer to boot. Control-Alt-Delete to do a restart. You could also press F11 to go into the boot manager. Actually, I'm going to do that. Probably what I should have just done at the beginning. Go into boot manager if you're using this. So I'm also going to do, after this little mini guide on installing SSH. SSH is really not that scary. I always just never used it for the longest time because I'm an idiot, and then finally learned how to use it and started using it. And it's a godsend, especially if you got like a server unit like this. It's so easy to like. It's not only just like transferring files over, but the fact that whenever you go to copy over a file through SSH, it'll also carry over the ownership of it. So whatever user you're connecting to is the user that owns that file. So you'll see later for like LinuxGSM in this later series that's really important. And it won't run if everything's not under that user. And it gets very annoying whenever you have to like manually do that for a whole file. It's kind of dumb and very annoying too. So that's why we were going to use SSH. Yeah, it is integrated C drive. I thought so. Well, I have to go back into the BIOS and fix that. Oh wow, that's a first. Yeah, turn the brightness back down so you can actually see. Okay, so we're going down here to the Ubuntu server, live server. Whenever you just literally look up on Google Ubuntu server and then download the LTS version. That's the long-term support. This is a server, motherfucker. You basically, this shit's running forever. Normally I go under grub. Grub 2 normally works a little bit better. Install. start doing this. Just let it do its thing. Make sure the drive does, or the flash drive or whatever you got doesn't get unplugged. Wait, shit, I did this wrong, didn't I? Oh wait, never mind. I need this. No, we're good with that. So, select your language. English for me, obviously. I mean, yeah, update new installer, even though I literally just updated this shit straight off of the website, but oh well, it doesn't matter. Kinda hard to see the top, but it's just going through the whole motion again. And then this is just select keyboard. Let me just hold this down while I'm doing this. Okay. Now, I recommend just going for the top one. Don't bother with minimized or whatever. And then this is where you select your drive. Yeah, the top one for me. Just ignore this. Let this test your mirrors. It's gonna pop something up in the little middle area right here. Just give it a minute. There it goes. Yep. Your mirror location test has passed. So we just continue with that. Use entire disk. So you can see this is all 7 terabytes that we got. So this is going to be tons and tons of shit. And make sure this is set. Fuck the bottom one, but keep that. And this is where we press done. Continue. And this is where we set our name and user. I'll just do, this should be, the top one should be this will be your base user. And then this one will be the name of the device. Oh, sorry. See, here, let me turn the brightness back down. Yeah, you can kind of see. I don't really have a stand. Kind of cringe, but oh well. Okay, so the next thing is that's going to be your device name. So I normally do mothership. This server's name, this is the name it uses when it talks to other computers. Yeah. So that's going to be device name. I don't remember what the top one is. This is going to be your base user profile is the third one. So I'll just do Gab again, and then your password. And then done. Okay, this is Ubuntu Pro is the paid version of Ubuntu server, so we will be skipping that. And this is another important step. Here. This top option, install SSH server, we will be doing that. Just press enter and that should have a little X come up. So you can see right there. So you can just hold it like this again. Shouldn't need to type anymore. This is extra packages that you may just need. We're not gonna fuck with any of this. Don't really need any of it. If you think you need it, grab it. I don't bother. So this is where the installer will just do its thing, and it'll install Linux or Ubuntu server. I see the issue. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah, that kind of fixed it, only if I realized that at the beginning. we'll just go through the whole motion. And this is the point where you kind of just sit back, relax, and not bother. I won't be skipping it, so you can see what mine looks like compared to how yours is looking like. Just installed SSH server for us. Perfect. Very, very easy to get SSH going. We will just need to install a firewall and then allow port 22. Do not need to port forward for SSH. Actually, I recommend you do not ever port forward port 22. Never, especially if you have an SSH connection at on your local network. Even if you have encryption, even if you have all that bullshit, there's a safer way of doing it than doing it through SSH. You do not want to give someone terminal access if they were able to hack into your shit. That'd be terrifying. Okay. So you see now at the bottom, you're done. So now we can reboot. So now it should just let it boot. Don't need to go back and change anything this time. Yep, there it goes. Now it's booting on Ubuntu. Gonna do its first time setup for like configuring your network and stuff like that. Here we go. So now you'll be greeted with mothership login. I guess this is one of the times when, let me see if I can do this. I had it going just for a minute right there. There we go. Yeah, we up at the perfect. I should have done that to begin with. So you're your user, which me it's Gav. Oh shit. I'm literally balancing this on 2 boxes. Hopefully it doesn't tell me it's wrong. Okay, no, it doesn't. So one good command to remember is just clear. So we're signed into our user, and this is where you would install like a UI if you want one. You do this. Might be kind of hard to see my command, but we're doing sudo. That's how you install anything on Ubuntu. So that's how you start it. And then you do space and the package you want to install. I'll fix the camera support. Okay, so for if you want to do display manager, I recommend LightVM. Really good lightweight display manager. Noctis, I don't know if I spelled that, or Noculus, but that's a Debian based UI for a file manager, but we won't be installing either of those, at least me personally. I don't need any of them. htop is something we're going to install. This is kind of like Task Manager, but for Linux. 7-zip. Let's see. I mean, I can't really think of anything else on the top of my head. Oh, UFW. That's going to be our firewall. And this is where you put your password in. If I can type mine wrong, no, I do not. Oh yeah. This is also, you're also going to want to do, you can press up arrow to go back to your last thing. Do update. And upgrade. And that'll install all of your update packages. This camera's about to die, so I gotta speed it up. Pretty simple from here though. SSH has already been set up through this, so all we really gotta do is enable port 22. And it should work. Damn, it's doing a lot more than I thought it would. Okay, this thing fucking hurry it up. There we go. Okay, just gonna do clear. So, first of all, before we do anything with firewall, do lsblk. That'll show your drive. And if you come here, let me pick up the camera and look and zoom it in a little bit. So, you see over here, we have only 100 gigabytes, and you're like, oh, what the fuck, where's all my storage? Don't worry, I got you. What you're gonna want to do is sudo lv display, and then that's gonna show you up here the path to your LVM space. So then you're gonna basically copy this command. Oh shoot, sorry. Verbatim. Sudo lvm extend -1 100% free, and then that's going to be the file. That won't be there. Not even that space. So that's what it would look like. And then, now, you look up lsblk, and then So you see right there, now we got 7.3 terabytes. So that should fill up the rest of your space in your home directory with all the space you have extra. So now we are going to set up SSH, but this is real quick. So you're going to do sudo ufw allow 22, and then you could do so make sure you always do sudo for ufw status. Whoops. And then, oh, it's inactive, so you got to do enable. Yeah, firewall has been enabled, and then now we check status. So now you can see port 22 is valid for both UUID and TCP. So we do IP address, and then so LO is loop, ignore loop. So down here is my local IP. So let me confirm that this works. Say hello to my PC. Ignore the mess. Here, I'm gonna put you down here actually. So I'll be back, as usual.
So in order to connect via SSH, you do SSH gav, which is your user, whatever you decided your main user to be, and then 2.168.1.1.8. That's my IP for my device. You want to do the local IP for your device that you got from IP address, and put in your password for that user, and then boom, you've connected.